Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmad Hassan, lecturer in physics, Government Postgraduate College Khanewal. My lecture is for MSc Part 1, BS 6th semester, Chapter number 1, Lecture number 3, 4 resistor biased amplifier, or it may call as potential divider biasing circuit. In our previous lecture, we have discussed fixed biasing circuit, but fixed biasing circuit has some drawbacks. For example, change in IB due to temperature, change in HFE which eventually cause change in IB. To reduce these effects, we designed 4 resistor biased amplifier. It is also called potential divider biasing circuit, or some may say it clever circuit or intelligent biasing or constant current circuit. This circuit is used to improve stability of Q point. It has more stability of Q point as compared to fixed biasing. It also reduces change in IB due to temperature change. It also minimizes effect of change in HFE. Effect of change in HFE means you can easily change transistor after designing. Change of transistor has a little impact on change in IB. To discuss 4 resistor biased circuit, we take common emitter NPN transistor amplifier configuration, which is shown in this figure. Because 4 resistances RC, RE, R1 and R2 are taken, so it is called 4 resistor biased circuit, R1 and R2 are just like potential divider circuit, so it is called potential divider biasing. R1 and R2 control IB, so with change in HFE or change in temperature, IB kept constant because of combined effect of R1 and R2, so it is called constant current biasing. As temperature changes, IB changes, so it is self-sustainable circuit. That is why it is called clever biasing. To discuss this circuit, first we analyze input loop as shown in the figure. Here, input is given to base. Input signal is between base and emitter at 1 port. Here is coupling capacitor which couples input signal to the base. R1 and R2 constituent I1 and I2 current. To analyze this circuit, first we take base to emitter open circuit voltage. We may call it Thevenization or Thevenin approach. For this purpose, first we take some approximations. First of all, IE is equal to IC plus IB, because IE comprises of IB and IC. But as we know, IB is at least 1000 times smaller than IC. So IC is very large than IB. IE is nearly equal to IC. This is our first approximation. Second, IB is equal to I2 minus I1. I1 and I2 are in milliamperes. That is why I1 and I2 are very large than IB. We take I2 minus I1 because IE and IB have opposite polarities. So IB is very smaller than I1 and similar. IB is very smaller than I2. So IB is negligible in front of IB and I1 and I2. So I2 is nearly equal to I1. Keeping in mind these two approximations, we are now discussing input loop. First of all, we take base to emitter junction open and termed as VOC, voltage open circuit, means VBE open. In this case, I1 and I2 are maintained by R1 and R2, and R1 and R2 have potential divider effect. So VOC parallel to R2 is equal to R3 over R1 plus R2 into VCC. VCC is the biasing potential or common emitter energy provider. Now we Theveninize, or we have Thevenization or Thevenin approach, means we find voltage with open circuit. So after that we need to find current. First of all, we need to find maximum possible available voltage between base and emitter. So these are termed as VOC. Now we need to find maximum possible available current. So this is I short circuit. Now we short circuit B and E, which causes zero resistance between B and E, so there is no potential drop and whole current passes abruptly from base to emitter. So I short circuit is equal to VCC over R1, means whole potential from VCC drops at R1 because R2 has parallel terminals short circuited. So I2, rather to pass from R2, passes from base to emitter. Now the equivalent resistance must be equal to R prime is equal to V open circuit over V short circuit over I short circuit. So R prime is equal to V open circuit over I short circuit. Now putting these values, VB over VCC over R1. So putting the value of VB, equation becomes R prime is equal to R3 over R1 plus R2 into VCC over 1 over R1 times VCC. Here this equation becomes R prime is equal to R1 into R3 over R1 plus R2. This equation shows that R1 times R3 per R1 plus R2, which means R1 and R2 are in parallel combination. But as we look in the circuit, R1 and R2 are not seem to be in parallel combination. But here I1 and I2 controls IB, so R1 and R2 for IB or for potential at base acts like as they were in parallel combination. Now, as we discuss input loop, we have to find IB. Now, taking this loop, we have to find IB, so we apply KVL at this loop. As we start from VBE, or we may start from B minus B because it is from lower potential to higher potential. Then potential across RB, which is IBRB, which is from higher potential to lower potential. Then potential across battery, imaginary battery VBE, that is also from higher potential to lower potential. Then potential across RE, which is from lower potential to higher potential, so it is negative in polarity as mentioned by the arrowhead for IE. So applying KVL, minus VB plus IBRB plus VBE minus IERE must be equal to 0. Here IE is equal to IC plus IB as we know, and IC is equal to HFE times IB. So putting the value of IC, we may have IE is equal to HFE times IB plus IB. IB is taken as common, so IE is equal to HFE plus 1 into IB. So we put negative sign because IB and IE has opposite polarity as mentioned in the diagram. So IE is equal to negative of IB times 1 plus HFE. Here this is the modified form of this equation. We put the value of IE here in this equation. By simplifying it, it becomes minus VB plus IBRB plus VBE plus 1 plus HFE times IBRE. Now from this equation, we derive the value of IB, which is equal to IB is equal to VB minus VBE over RB plus 1 plus HFE into RE. Now we again have some approximations because our practical results are not conferred by the theoretical values. So far, best accompanying the practical results with theoretical findings, we have to have some approximations. First approximation is VB is very greater than VBE, as VBE lies around 0.7 volt and VB is at least 10 to 150 times greater than VBE. So VB minus VBE nearly equal to VB. It means VBE in front of VB can be neglected. Then second approximation, HFE ranges from 150 to approximately 400. So 1 in front of 400 is very small. So 1 plus HFE is nearly equal to HFE because 1 can be neglected in front of HFE. And IC is equal to HFE times IB. Now from this value of IB we have to find IC. So IC is equal to HFE into VB minus VBE over RB plus 1 plus HFE into RE. By simplifying this equation and having the approximation, we have IC is equal to HFE over IB into VB over 1 plus HFE times RE per RB. Here RE is greater than RB. RE lies in the range near about 400 ohm. RB is very small. Base resistance is small because base can have at least 1000 times smaller current than collector. So base has very small resistance. So in first case, if we consider RE greater than RB, then RE per RB must be greater than 1. HFE is also greater than 1. So the equation becomes as IC is equal to HFE times RB, HFE times VB per RB. Here this equation shows that IC has direct dependency over VB, but VB is very small quantity as compared to IC. IC has inverse dependency on RB. As base resistance increases, IC decreases. Here HFE is in numerator and denominator as well. So HFE has least effect on IC, while RE times RE over RB, RE over RB has utmost influence over IC. From this equation, it is evident that IC has dependency on RB, IC has a very little dependency on HFE, IC has a dependency on RE over IB. Now, in first assumption, we consider RE is equal to 0, means we short RE. As we short RE, RE becomes equal to 0. So the equation becomes RE over RB is equal to 0. So putting this value here in this equation, HFE into 0 is equal to 0, 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. So IC becomes equal to HFE VB over RB. This equation IC is equal to VB into HFE over RB is just like fixed bias circuit. So here it is evident that by removing RE from the circuit, our potential divider circuit behaves just like fixed bias circuit. So RE has utmost importance over controlling IC. Now if we put RE is equal to RB, then RE over RB is equal to 1. So HFE times RB over RE over RB is equal to HFE. Means putting RE is equal to RB, gain increases but stability decreases. So with increase in RE, stability increases but gain decreases. But with decrease in RE, stability decreases but gain increases. So at the cost of gain in 4 resistor bias circuit, we attain stability. So RE has a decisive effect over IC, and RE in return controls IB. So IB is controlled via R1 and R2. Also IB is controlled via RE, but RE has a greater impact over stability, and R1 and R2 has a greater impact on gain. Since if we summarize this circuit, 4 resistor bias circuit, IC is independent of HFE. IC is nearly independent of HFE. No circuit has complete independence of IC over HFE. But we can minimize dependency of IC over HFE. HFE changes due to temperature has decreased effect over stability. A major problem in our amplifier circuits is temperature. As circuit works, operates, its temperature increases and its gain changes, and also its stability changes. So our supreme target is to minimize effect of temperature over Q point. So 4 resistor bias has in both terms decreased dependency of IB over temperature and decreased dependency of IB and IC over HFE. And at last, circuit is more stable than fixed bias circuit due to RE, and circuit has greater gain with more stability due to R1 and R2. That's all. For this topic, you may discuss or you may consult J.D. Ryder's book and as well Fluid Analog Electronics. Thank you.